Hey y'all, you're listening to Diagnosing Sitcoms and Movies, the DSM podcast. We help make mental health more comfortable by using Black movies and shows we know and love and culture to remove stigma. So join our convo with your host, Courtney Copeland, licensed mental health counselor.
And Dr. B, licensed professional counselor.
They gonna be pussy at the party, ain't it? Before they even get on the screen, I was like, oh my God.
It's an important question to ask.
G's on P's, what?
It's an equivalent to who all gonna be there. These are questions that must be asked before your attendance is confirmed.
I understand, but I'm just like, really, y'all? Before the folk even get on the screen, we talking shit. But okay, so that's one of my quotables. That whole opening scene right there, that whole, before the credits even started rolling, yeah, that whole conversation.
I have so many. Before I jump into them, though, I just want to say, hey, y'all, we are going to be talking about the 1993 classic film, Menace II Society. It is classified as a teen hood drama film. I completely and utterly disagree. However, this is an action comedy to me. This movie is hilarious.
What?
I love every second of it. I cannot watch this movie without stomach pains from complete laughter. Like, hurry up and buy? That's not funny to you?
Hurry up and buy.
Hurry up and buy is funny, okay?
Okay.
However, listeners, I also want to let you know that there's going to be some vulgar language, especially with these quotables we're going to be coming up with. Because this whole movie is just nothing but cussing.
True. Church friends, this might not be the episode for you.
I already said pussy, so... you can say pussy on TV. You can say pussy on TV.
I believe it. You can say ass, hell, damn.
Okay, so hurry up and buy.
Hurry up and buy.
Definitely. That's definitely something that's racist that I've had some of my friends and myself say. I guess it is racist.
If you said it to an Asian person, you're racist. But if you just say it in reference to hurry up and make this purchase, then because we definitely use it on our merch site. So if shameless plug right here, if you haven't already, please go to our website and buy this. Hurry up and buy this merch, and you can find all of your items related to diagnosis, sitcoms, and movies. But if you said it to a race, an Asian person, you're an asshole and you should feel bad about yourself.
I haven't said it to an Asian person. It's just going into the beauty supply store and then realizing like they watching us, and then you say, hurry up and buy to your friends.
No, see, that's in good context. That's in good context. So I understand that.
How we do that. And, I was like, damn, I didn't realize that I got it from this movie. So in all honesty, I haven't watched the film from that beginning clip of them walking into the convenience store to the end. Like I never, as a kid, like I never really, not even as a kid, but even as an adult, sat down and watched it in its entirety. And I'll be honest with you, it is not my favorite film. I do not like it. It made me
love it. You know what? I don't like it either. I love it.
Okay, tell the people why you love it, psycho.
It's so funny. It's painful. It's painful if you look at the actual context of the movie and view these like as people's real lives experiences. But it's not that. It's a movie and it's funny, and life has to be funny. There's pain and there's laughter in everyday life. So you have to take the punches and roll with them. Okay, I can't help it that I'm more resilient and that these movies roll off me and I get to appreciate the quality of art that exists while you are traumatized and need to debrief afterwards.
Baby, nowadays, yes. Especially in the context in which I'm looking at these movies, I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? Oh, that child is going to be scarred for life. He held a gun. And
so right there, let's address that. Why is teaching children young about guns, gun safety, how is that a negative? Why is it only
a negative? Because in the context of how he was being taught to use the gun,
Let me show you how to hold it. Like, if you're going to operate, you need to be taught the correct way to handle a firearm. You need to give it a certain level of respect. So no, stop playing. Let me show you how to operate, be around, take the bullets out. Like, I feel like that is a teachable moment for a child. I don't see the problem with it.
Not when he's actually able to see a man get shot within the same matter of the night.
We live in America. He's shooting every day on video games. He's watching a motherfucking Wile E. Coyote shoot all types of cannons and bitches. No one watches Wile E. Coyote anymore, except for Space Jam. But you know what I mean? The cartoons is beheading other characters and shooting all types of stuff at them. Like,
when it comes down to being self-defense, yes, you talk about it, you kind of go through it. But I think there's a certain age that you can have that conversation with, and it has to have the appropriate context. And I feel like those individuals, both Kane and the gentleman that taught him
Purnell
when he was Purnell, that taught him, it was how I saw it was, this is how you survive on the streets. And that's not how I feel kids need to be able to learn how to survive on the streets. That's an unfortunate way. Is that their reality? Is that the reality of many people in America? Absolutely. But I don't think it's the right way. I think kids just to be kids. Let them be kids.
I agree with that part. But we're just going to have to also then agree to disagree on the children learning early, because I feel like if you can see people's heads blown off and that is your reality and guns are readily available, I feel like I can't stop what you're going to do outside of out of my home, but I can prepare you for certain things. And so if guns are a part of our reality, I'm going to teach you how to engage with them in a safe manner. I'm going to teach you. I feel like that's a part of gun control, is teaching people, everyone, educating them on how to handle, how to use in a proper and safe manner. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with teaching children that, especially if there are guns in the home, because they need to know it's not a toy. It's not nothing to play with, as there might be, it's not a water gun because you're a kid and you play with toys. Like, I feel like that's important. So I felt like, and then again, this is why I can see the funny and you're like, oh my God, this poor child.
Now, Samuel L. Jackson always just makes things just funny to me because he always adds the motherfucker in it. He's like, you owe me money, motherfucker.
He said, hell no, but here you go.
So that part, I was like, but there was not a part I really was like, kee, laughing back. No, I'm sorry. This was a sad movie.
And a double burger with cheese? That's not funny to you?
Double burger? Some fries.
What the fuck I said with cheese, nigga? See, y'all made me shoot your stupid ass over nothing. You got a pager too. You're balling, huh? You're balling? You're this motherfucking shit. Better than me than the motherfucking cops, nigga.
Oh, you really thought that was funny? Oh my gosh. I mean, what was somewhat like funny, but like in this really awkward way, was when the basehead, what do they call him? What do they call him? Is it basehead? I just want to make sure he got the right name.
Cheeseburgers.
Yes. And then why is it that every time it's someone that's a basehead, they be like, I suck your dick? Like, seriously? Is that what they be doing in LA?
Because it was a lot of drug dealers out here that was accepting dick sucks for payment.
Like, what's his name from Boys in the Hood?
Dookie.
Like Dookie. Weren't they in the same block? I'm just kidding. This was Watts, California. That was Compton, wasn't it?
Yes. Both Southern LA, but very different neighborhoods. And with traffic, takes a long time to get between the two.
Same behaviors, though. Different neighborhoods, same behavior.
Stay up, Kate. Don't die.
Oh, getting blood everywhere, all over. Like, really? We still mad at you about that? Really, old dog? You're mad about me bleeding out, almost about to die.
You almost died.
Hey, we still mad at you about that. Yeah, okay.
Your car, oh dog, why is you mad? You trying to throw your outfit away?
Right. Oh, you mean them basic ass jeans and that white tee? You'll be fine.
Oh, it hurts. See the laughter.
Wow, you're really tickled. I can't stand you.
I ain't going out like Willie Lump Lump.
Shit, I ain't going out like Willie Lump Lump.
Right, and then he's like, "Is Willie Lump Lump real? Like, is that a real person? Is Willie Lump Lump a real person? What had happened to Willie Lump Lump? He got lumps and then died." Okay.
So when I was a kid, I just thought it meant like, because they was talking about using condoms, so I thought it meant like maybe he had lumps on his willy. But then I feel like I'm gonna get my ghetto card taken away because I'm not exactly sure who Willie Lump Lump is. And look, I know the George Jackson song though, that Willie Lump Lump is a dummy. It's something like Willie Lump Lump is a dum dum or something like that. Did Willie Lump Lump catch AIDS? It's about a little, and there's a children's book, and the little boy, it's a little white boy, and he falls into this green ooze, and it make him a munchkin or something like that, or a frog. It's something like that.
There's really a legend about him. The legend of Willie Lump Lump, a boy who becomes miniaturized after falling into an experimental goo in a children's picture book. Wow. So if he fell into that vaginal goo. And he became Willie Lump Lump. No, but instead he impregnated her, or at least that's what she said.
That's what she said. We are not for sure. That is neither confirmed nor negated throughout the context of the film.
What that got to do with me?
And he like make sure he enunciated clearly to her. That means it's not mine.
He said he had that Jimmy on tight. So here's what happened. I heard him say Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Then I was like, the last time I heard Jimmy was in the 5 Heartbeats. Looked into it. The grandpa and the grandmother in this movie are the same parents in the 5 Heartbeats.
But they're not together in that movie.
In the 5 Heartbeats? Yeah.
She's
and Mrs. King.
I thought she was the mother to Eddie Kane when she was like, "You act like you don't even care for the boy." That's her. And then that man, and then Kane's grandfather is the man who says, "Yeah, put the hat on your willy, protect your Jimmy," something like that. And they was like, "Oh, wear a condom, wear rubbers." But they're not together. They are. You're
right.
JT and Duck's dad, and the mother is Eddie Kane's mother.
Yeah, Paul Benjamin is Eddie Kane's dad.
Whisper from Hoodlum.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought it was interesting that they came together in this movie and are the grandparents. She was mad extra when she was like, "Oh, you graduated." I picture his voice.
Look at the motherfucking wheels. This movie is hilarious.
Look at them. No, it's not. I'm not laughing no more. It's serious. It's a serious
But Clifton Powell, aka Pinky, be like,
"Yo, Wax. Yo, nigga. Let me get some links with them grits, man. Hurry up. I'm hungry than a motherfucker out here."
Fuck, I look like Alice, bitch.
Oh, see. I was not looking at it from that type of lens. I was very hurt. I was concerned about that white man coming up and talking to him. I was like, what he doing? What kind of illegal activity is he in? He was undercover.
He was exploiting the oppression of these peoples by having them commit crimes for him that he would financially benefit from, and while having them assume all of the risk. But I guess so my last quotable is probably the most famous, the most renowned from the movie.
I thought you know what I'm saying, that you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
See, you think it's funny too. Now you definitely bought the bottle at 11:15. Yeah, definitely 11. It was 11:15.
Now you know you done fucked up, right? You bought the bottle at 12:15. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If I recall, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to Bill Duke, the legend. You know you're fucked up now, right? Okay, so there are other, I guess Kane kind of puts it all together when he says, like, at the beginning and the end of the movie, that the hood is funny like that sometimes. Like, yeah, stuff is going on, but you got to find the funny. That's survival. That's a strength.
I suppose. Look, okay, my childhood didn't want no funny. Shit. I can laugh about it now. I can laugh about it then.
I'm sure the situations weren't funny, but I'm sure that somebody said something in that moment that was hilarious.
I think it's just the nature of Black people at times, just to find humor in things. It's just how we just are. That's how we survive.
I agree. It's a survival technique. That's why it's a strength. I fully believe that.
But it also doesn't make it okay as to what happened in this movie.
It doesn't, but you got to find the funny. Like, every time somebody gets shot or hit, like this movie, all the bullets and everything sound extra juicy. Like, people was getting hit and it was like,
ew. Ew, I never even listened to it like that. Ugh. I'm never watching this movie again, by the way. I'm done. I'm good.
I appreciate the basically the YouTube tutorial video on how to cook up crack that was featured in the film.
That's exactly it. I was thinking that too. I was like, yeah, like now I know how to make crack thanks to all of my hip hop music that I listened to growing up in the 90s, thanks to this movie, and also currently thanks to Snowfall. Thanks, guys. I know how to make crack.
I feel like his father taught him how to make crack before he died. He died at 10. So he was giving him early, like, here, this is the best way that I know for you to make money. Financial literacy is very important. You have to be able to survive out here. So this is how I make money. Let me teach you my trade. He taught him a trade early in life so that Kay would always be able to be self-sufficient. Parents are just instilling and carry on family businesses.
Okay, so here's my issue. All right, so clearly this is and what was interesting is that the writers definitely put into context the riots, and then soon after the drugs entering their neighborhoods, right? And
he said when the riots stopped, the drugs started.
The drugs started, right? And so with that, it kind of brings into context again how Black neighborhoods were impacted by this. And it's more than just the drugs itself, but of course, again, it's that lineage. So his father was the popular guy in the neighborhood, you know, and was able to teach that to his son. And then, unfortunately, the lineage ends. Well, that's determined whether or not he got to the little one that he was mentoring. What's his name? Brandon.
Anthony.
Not Brandon. Anthony. Yeah. Because who knows what he taught him. He probably, like he taught him how to say, I'm going to kick your ass.
I'll whoop your ass.
Okay, so she was being a hypocrite. So he learned that from you. Well, you inviting this man in your house. So if you really don't want him to learn how to do drive-bys, why do you have people who do drive-bys in your house?
How can you not have them in your house? They live right there. And then your man is like the mentor to this guy who for some reason feels like he needs to come and hit you up and give you money every time he comes through.
You talk about Kane, you talk about Pernell, because I'm confused as to whether who is her man in this instance. Let's get into Jada Pinkett and how she is grooming and how life is imitating art and how she grooms young men that she had in her home that were friends with her son that she then became entangled with.
Don't come for Jada. Okay,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, and I will be at the red table like, bitch, you are a predator. Leave these little boys alone.
Pernell, is that how you say it?
Pernell, yes.
Pernell, I'm gonna name my son that.
Yo, West Coast be having some names for you.
Pernell, come get.
Pernell, put that down. Get in here, Pernell.
Come in.
Close my door.
Come pass me this remote. Anyway, Purnell's the one that was in jail, and he said that was like his mentor. It was like his father.
Exactly.
And so I feel like
that you don't find that problematic on Ronnie's behalf?
On her part?
Yes.
She was trying to get out the game, like Ghost. She was trying to get out the game. And then, like you still bringing your your shenanigans over here. You know what I'm saying, Kane?
I'm letting you in. I'm letting you in. You sitting at the table. And like I said, I got a letter for you. Here you go. I met you at the door. I sat you at the table. I let you go play video games with my son. I invite you over when I don't invite the rest of the crew over. And we're going to gloss over the fact that when they did have a sexual encounter that he never really gave consent. She kissed him. He said, hey, no, that's not cool. And then she blocked the exit.
Okay.
If this was no. He never said yes. He just went along with it. And if you notice, they're playing R. Kelly during the sex scene.
See, now there's layers to this movie as to why it's not funny. It's not funny. You're making my point right then. Okay?
Well, then let me bring you the funny. So, is it...
When he asked for his beer, when Anthony asked for, I'm thirsty, can I have a beer? That was funny.
No, I was talking about the sex scene, but
okay.
So we talked about when we did set it off about Blair Underwood using the chain and running it down her back to her booty. And so in this movie, we see Kane kissing down her back. Is it because Jada don't have like body that we always get her back in sex scenes?
I'm not entirely sure. And then I thought,
or do you think she just like writes that into her contract? Like, y'all, I'm not really okay with nudity, but I'll give y'all my back and booty.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually I cover my eyes during sex scenes.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that. Thank you for providing that bit of information. It seems so factual and real.
You know what's awkward? What's really awkward? Watching a sex scene. And like watching a movie that has a sex scene in it with people that are older than you, you're like, I'm an adult. I'm an adult, but this is awkward.
I would like to mention that I've watched all of these movies with caregivers at the time.
I'm like,
that's how I was seeing them as a child. But
oh my God, I didn't see that. Yeah, sure, it's okay. Well, see, yeah. No, none of my caregivers really were like, here, you can watch this with me. Well, maybe they did. That's why I saw bits and pieces. And it was just, I feel like as a kid, stuff just really didn't sit right with me. So
I was about to say, I feel like your attention span might not have given you the ability.
I would be like, okay, I'm out. I'm going to play with my Barbie.
This movie was on. You said I could watch it. Okay. Squirrel.
Squirrel. I don't want to watch this. Someone just got shot.
But I did not give Ronnie a full diagnosis. I just would, if she was my client, I feel that she learned that love was like almost like an abuse of power differentials, because while Purnell is really older, I don't think that she was quite Purnell's age either. So he was an older man targeting her, and then now she's an older woman targeting Kane. So I just feel like she learned that was like, you use that power in order to, like, that's what relationships are. That's how love exists. And so I would want to work on that with her because even like at the end where they go visit Purnell, she was being mean to him and had an attitude with him. And at first I didn't understand why, but then I felt like, no, you feel like you have to be mad at Purnell in order to justify you fucking on his young head to yourself. And you're not going to be mad at yourself. So you have to be mad at Purnell to make it okay for you to be messing with Kane. That's how you're justifying that in your head.
Or what if that's just the nature of their relationship? Like it was toxic to begin with. She ain't really fucking with him like that. And so having to go visit him is like, here we go.
Then why is you there?
Because she's for the streets. She belongs to the streets.
Not in a relationship. Why she go visit? If that's because he set her up, that like Kane said, he set her up in the house. She ain't got no job. He said he set her up with some money, and Kane be giving money.
She belongs to the streets. That's all I got.
You right. Hey,
that's all I got.
So I would be using dialectical behavioral therapy to prevent Ronnie from being from the streets. That is what we would focus on. Her lessening her for the streetsness. That would be our treatment goal.
We're gonna lessen for your streetsness by doing DBT, being mindful of your street behavior.
Of your availability to the street. That made me think about 3 6 Mafia. Don't save her. She don't
want to be saved. Okay, I want to be saved. Absolutely. I mean, I think for her, again, I didn't really give her a diagnosis either, because it was hard to like really pinpoint what she's going through, because some of it, I don't want to say that. That's not nice. But
don't be judgy.
Right, don't be judgy. Don't be judgy. She brought up a lot of those issues she was experiencing on herself, by staying in it, but at the same time, we don't know why she stayed, so there might have been other reasons why she might have had to stay.
I mean, clearly limited opportunities. She said that, clearly Kane said that she wasn't working. When he came over that one time, she was studying, but she was just sitting at a typewriter. So I was like, is she like in City College trying to get some like business skills, or is she studying for a civil service exam? Are you really just in this connection with Purnell because that is the child of your father and he provided you a house and he's continuing to provide money, I'm assuming, by doing dirt in prison so that, they hit her off with a couple dollars here and there. And then Kane is providing. So is that... Purnell is OG Bobby Johnson, okay? He makes things happen.
For real. He must have had a phone, snuck in, and you know how those get in there.
Girl, they didn't have those. Do you know how big the cell phones was in 1993? I would hate to see a man sneak a whole 1993 cell phone in there. Who's next?
I was thinking, all right, come on now. I feel like we got to get old dog out the way, because I feel like that's going to take forever.
Really? I thought we would agree on that. You go first.
I don't want to. Because you're going to shut it down. All right, here we go. I was going to give him bipolar 2 disorder.
What? No, I could definitely see that. I can see where you're going with that. Can you justify with a little bit of criteria for me, please? That wasn't the diagnosis I gave, but go ahead.
All right. So I was going to say bipolar 2 disorder, hypomanic episode. This is a distinct period of abnormally and persistent elevated, expansive, or irritable mood, and abnormally and persistent increased activity and energy. So, I mean, again, we don't know what old dog was like before this incident as far as the convenience store, but he was extremely and abnormally irritated, and then this is something that is persistent. And if this is based off of the description of the movie, these are the several days after this young man is done with high school. And this is just the everyday life leading up until his death.
This is one summer. One summer.
And so throughout this time, there really hasn't been a time where he, was at like I don't want to say a low mood, but like more of like a homeostasis, if you will. And so he did seem extremely, energetic and irritable. And then, he really did have this inflated self-esteem when he was really excited and proud of the video tape. He showed it to everybody. That's one of the criteria B, decreased need for sleep. I can't say that what his sleeping patterns were, but he did seem more talkative than usual, especially in the car when going to go shoot the people that shot Kane's cousin.
I never done it myself. I mean, I never had a reason to. But when they killed my cousin, I knew I was gonna kill them.
Hey man, so you like my little tape, don't you?
Yeah, that shit was gold, nigga.
Yeah, nigga, that's your problem.
You should have carried to the wax point. You could have did it much better.
Oh shit, nigga. It's all about old dog, nigga. I'm larger than that nigga Steven Seagal. I'm gonna be a big ass movie star off that shit.
Look, nigga, I told you to stop showing the fucking tape. And why you keep on bitching about my tape, man? God damn, ain't shit gonna happen. All right? All right? Damn. And we just gonna find these little marks and smoke them. Shit ain't that hard. As long as it ain't no crowd. Look, I'm not killing no kids or no old folks, all right? Hey, man, who the fuck gonna be old out there 12 o'clock at night, man? Shit, nigga, I'll smoke anybody, nigga. I just don't give a fuck. Shit, I'm gonna hit this shit, nigga. Look, all right, not me, all right? I'm not killing no kids. And you know what, nigga? You acting like a little bitch right now. You acting real paranoid and shit. Now these motherfuckers smoked your goddamn cousin in front of you, nigga. Blew his head off in front of your face, and you ain't gonna do shit? You acting like a little bitch right now, nigga. Man, fuck that, I ain't letting that shit ride. We gonna go ahead and smoke all these motherfuckers. I don't care who the fuck out there. God damn it, is you down, nigga?
Man, both of y'all shut the fuck up. Both of y'all acting like some motherfucking bitches shit. Scared to peel these punk ass niggas cap. Man, give me my motherfucking joint, nigga.
Please. That car scene is... They just killed your motherfucking cousin.
Again,
he was so intense in that moment.
He was intense, which is why.
And his logic was like, "What? No." And Kane is like, "But I don't want to kill old people and kids. I have morals."
Like, fuck your morals. They killed your cousins. Kill all of them.
Kill anybody. I don't give a fuck.
Again, this is also why it's like the flight of ideas is for him. Distractibility, you know, increase in goal-oriented activity on killing motherfuckers, you know, and excessive involvement in activities as far as killing motherfuckers. So that's why he has bipolar 2 diagnosis from Dr. Britton. So what say ye?
So my only thing with it potentially being bipolar 2 is that we, like you said, don't know the before, because they talk about all of those that symptomology and that being an increase from the normal, like, and it's an observed difference from their people, from it's an observed difference by their peoples that they be with or whatever. And I feel like, no, that's just him. I don't feel like there's an up and down there. It just seems to be that is his whole, like, that is his baseline, because we're introduced to O-Dog and Kane is like, O-Dog was the craziest nigga alive. Like, that's our first sentence about him. And he's America's nightmare, young, black, and don't give a fuck. And he says, I'll smoke anybody. I don't give a fuck. And so for that, it pained me. It pained me with everything in me. But after he shot the base head just for saying I suck your dick from his own distress, I felt like, okay, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to go anti-personality disorder.
Why didn't you want to do that? I mean, he can have both of them, okay? What? Lorenz Tate.
Doing because I love my hoodlums. You know how I feel about my hoodlums. They hold a special place in my heart and in my soul.
Oh, that's
so, but people with antisocial personality disorder, APD, they're easily bored, have a high need for excitement, stimulation, and new experiences. And despite them being like very independent, they still want to impress people. And so, like, to me, I thought of the tape. And him, I'm selling these $59.95. Like, he wanted everybody to see the tape because he wanted to.
The tax is ridiculous.
Like pay-per-view. They never have a round number. It's always a 99, 95. Anywho. They also often struggle with like rejection and delayed gratification. And so all of that, I felt like, because he was so excited when Too Short gave him that gun. He's like, you ready to put a hole in the motherfucker?
Everybody's like,
yeah, I am. Get here. And so let me go through the criteria real quick for antisocial personality disorder so that everyone understands why I gave him this order and understands a little bit why I didn't want to give it to him, because I love him so much.
If he had a chance to shoot you, he shoot you too.
Nuh-uh. Mm-hmm. I know how to interact with antisocial personality disorder people. Anywho, I felt that he met the area of criteria that I felt that he met was failure to conform to social norms with respect to lawful behaviors as indicated by repeatedly performing acts that are grounds for arrest, impulsivity, irritability, and aggressiveness as indicated by physical fights or assaults. Like even after Kane beat up Eileen, a cousin, he still had to go kick him one good
time. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Reckless disregard for safety of self or others. We've already established he doesn't give a fuck. And then lack of remorse is indicated by being indifferent to or rationalizing having hurt, mistreated, or stolen from another. So in his mind, the things that he does, he can rationalize them and he doesn't see the error or have any remorse towards that or empathy towards his victims. But that doesn't mean that he is devoid of experiencing empathy at all, because once he sees Sharif dead, you can visibly see that he's upset by that, but it's not something that he did. So even if he killed one of them boys that was shooting at them in the car, he wouldn't feel remorse to them, but he can express that hurt for Sharif.
You know, it's interesting because I would have given Kane the antisocial person.
No.
Why?
I will get into that in a second.
Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't really give it to him, but that's now that you're reading out, I was like, he could fit that too. I mean, they two peas in a pod. Shit.
No, I feel like they are very different people. Kay has a moral compass. But granted, sometimes he ignores it. It exists. It is there. Old dog don't see nothing wrong with the shit he doing. Y'all want these cheeseburgers? No, nigga, no one has an appetite after witnessing you murder somebody for nothing.
And then it's from a base head. Like, who knows how long he had them fucking cheeseburgers? Like, what? Get that out of here from a dead man's hand. What? I hate him. Old dog was so annoying. I really did not like him.
He was hilarious to me. You're on his nutsack. Unfortunately, however, though, there are limited effective treatment modalities for antisocial personality disorders. So I guess, I don't know, I would be schema therapy. Maybe I would do with him. Definitely some medication. We got to calm that down. But it did appear to me that he was using alcohol to self-regulate himself. Because if you see, when he was drinking, he was cool. He was chilling. It's when he it's either before or like in the absence of alcohol. So they were going to the store to get the alcohol. Kay immediately opened his or drank his. Odog never opened his. He shot that man in the head. But like when he was drinking and stuff, when he had a bottle of beer, he was chilling.
So his medication would be,
I feel like he's self-medicating, and we would work on some more better self-regulation skills and build those up in other more healthy ways, as opposed to maladaptive behaviors such as drinking to self-regulate himself and control his impulsivity and aggressiveness.
You know, I feel like Odog's prognosis at this point
is terrible.
Is that he becomes Muslim himself because he going to jail.
He going to jail, but he ain't finding Allah there.
I mean, he might have to, especially because he lost his friend. I feel like he gonna be like, this will honor him, and I'm gonna get my life back on track. And that's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
I feel like Odog is going to prison, not even jail. He's going to prison, and he's going to join a gang. Okay. He might be successful in what he does and live long and earn rank within the set that he's banking for, but yeah. While I love him, I just don't see it going good.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Next.
Oh, dog, excuse me, your hour is up. We have another client.
Yep. Bye.
Okay, so you brought up Kane, so I'll jump into Kane. I did not diagnose him with antisocial personality disorder. I first bounced around possibly in other specified trauma or stressor related disorder, being through given all of the trauma experiences that he has had since a young child, seeing Samuel Jackson as your daddy. One. Right. But this seeing Samuel Jackson as your daddy murder someone, your mom being an addict, dying from an overdose, your father being killed, all of those things. But then I felt, let's go a little bit past that. And I felt like he might have, and I would like to assess for him having a full-on depressive mood disorder, because the onset of depression usually follows one or more traumatic life events, which often involves like an interpersonal loss. Stressors involving loss are strongly correlated with depression, where like the threat of danger or the threat of loss usually goes along more so with anxiety. And traumatic events that occur early in life can alter the neurobiological stress response and make an individual more susceptible to later on developing a depressive disorder in general. And then Kane's grandfather asked him, like, do you care whether you live or die? And him first saying, I don't know. Like later on getting to the place of, yeah, I do, but it's too late now. And him saying, like, I thought killing those fools would make me feel good, but it didn't. Like, I didn't feel anything. Him not being able to go through those range of emotions, him not feeling hopeless in a lot of situations, kind of also created like a self-fulfilling prophecy for himself and confirmation bias. Him feeling hopeless and it being evidenced by like the state of like existing as a Black man in society. And when he was talking to Ronnie about going to Atlanta, he was like, okay, girl, it's still in America. Atlanta's still in America. Like, I'm still gonna be Black. These people still not gonna give a fuck. Like, and so him having that almost negative outlook on life, like people were trying to give him different outs, but he could not see them because I felt like he was in that depressive state where he couldn't see past what he was feeling and what was going on at that time. And also gave him some V codes of victim of a crime, upbringing away from parents, all of that, because, you know, he got shot and stuff and his mom and daddy died.
Okay. I like where you're going with that. I actually did the trauma and stressor related disorders. I actually did reactive attachment disorder because of him having to experience the caregivers in his home clearly weren't attentive. And so I feel like he became emotionally withdrawn. In order for him to have like survived that, there's some things that I feel like he would have had to do. And like, yes, he did have to end up living with his grandparents. But again, like even when they like embrace him, he doesn't seem like he's wanting like comfort. He doesn't respond to the comfort of being around them. And then a persistent social and emotional disturbance characterized by two of the following: minimum social and emotional responsiveness to others, limited positive affect in episodes, unexplained irritability, sadness, or fearfulness that are evident even during non-threatening interaction with adult caregivers. So for me, I would say just minimal social and emotional responsiveness to others and limited positive affect.
You feel like he has limited positive affect? Because affect is just how you present. I feel like he can present appropriately with positive affect and respond to things in that way.
He didn't smile. He hardly smiled.
When he was around his friends, he just didn't around his grandparents.
And he didn't really smile with Jada either. She said, you need to smile some. I mean, even when he was in the...
Bitch, I just got shot!
Listen, find something to smile about, okay? You're lying.
I'm in the hospital. It hurts.
I don't care. Please.
See, if Jada was a man, this would be completely... It came with women, it'd be very different. It would be like, where my smile at? Why you ain't smile? Like, that's how she sounds. She just sound like a creep dude. Ugh! Ronnie.
I just think you have a thing against Jada we need to talk about.
I have a thing against predator women that prey on young men. I said it. Who gonna whoop me?
Jada.
I'd love to see her try.
That would be a fun fight.
No, it wouldn't, because I ain't fighting no old woman. I get my mama to whoop her.
Your mom will be starstruck. Hey, Jada, let me get an autograph. sorry for my daughter's misbehavior.
You're right. She'd be like, let me take this picture, girl. All right, I gotta whoop your ass because you've been talking to my daughter reckless.
Man,
all right.
Roll up the sleeves. Put my hair in a ponytail. What you say about my baby?
Hey, I'm gonna post that picture later. I'm gonna tag you, girl. I'm gonna tag you. But put your fist up. Okay, but I can't see where you are going. I think that we are agreeing that his childhood traumas are reflective of what we do see here. I think that maybe with further assessment and stuff, we could kind of get to exactly which one it is. But I definitely feel that we are agreeing that the childhood trauma was very impactful in his life, that he is not responding as in a healthy manner. And so for you would say that was more attributable to the RADs, where I'm saying like maybe possibly depressive mood disorder. But yeah, Kane went through it.
Yeah, he did. And I think that maybe reactive attachment disorder for an adult especially can lead
to major depression. Yes,
absolutely.
We agree.
Yeah. So I think I was just looking more so at the child version of Kane. And
so diagnosing 8-year-old or however the little boy from Soul Food was playing him, that Kane would be diagnosed with RADs. Right. And then adult Kane would be diagnosed with still possibly a trauma, stressor-related disorder, but also the depressive mood disorder. We agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at us, Wonder Twins collide. Yeah. I guess if Kane was alive, and was my client, we could possibly maybe do some like behavioral activation therapy, because it would have to be more structured, more solution focused, much more getting more things done, trying to activate him as opposed to going through the cognitions and the thoughts. Because Kane doesn't strike me as someone who would be patient in therapy. So we would have to start engaging in some things that where he could start to see results and give homework and assignments. Like those things will have to start occurring right away for him. And possibly some reality therapy, maybe like, what are your goals? What are your wants? What are you doing to get there type thing? And maybe like some here and now grounding. Just, you got to learn how to regulate. Like, ooh, take your shoes off, put your feet on the floor. See if that don't make you feel like you at one place at one time. Mm. Breathe, good brother. Breathe. Yeah. Give me a hug. You need a hug?
I'm scared. I don't know if I really want a hug, you know?
I'm not afraid to give Kane a hug because Kane needs a hug, and clearly he can respect boundaries. It is Ronnie that cannot.
Indeed. You have a point. I guess, I know. I'm not hugging him. I'm not hugging him or old dog because y'all are bad. Bad. Just bad.
They are kids. I don't think old dog has been going to school. He strikes me as truant. But Kane just graduated high school. He's a kid.
Yeah, he is a kid, which is unfortunate, you know?
Yes, who unfortunately is in all of these adult situations and circumstances. I did not diagnose Sharif with a disorder, but I did say that he was clearly in the immersion stage of Black racial identity development in that model. To give a little bit more context of what that is when one has grasped it is characterized by a period of pro-Blackness, anti-white feelings, and they prefer to be absorbed in the Black experience and completely reject the white world. And definitely feel like that is where Brother Sharif was at in his exploration and journey through not just organized religion, but his experience of being a Black man in America. I think had he actually lived and gone to Kansas, he might have moved more into the internalization stage where people kind of grasp more of the fact that Blacks and whites both have strengths and weaknesses, and, been more accepting of the achievement of pride and security in his own race, as opposed to just like white is bad. He would have seen more that like Black excellence is good type thing.
But I think with his experience with the police definitely informed his decision. How they were treated was terrible. I understand, yes, they had their criminal activity, especially Kane, but it's just like...
But they didn't know that.
And they didn't know, but and like I said, it doesn't justify their behavior for those two young boys, and it was sickening. And like you said, luckily, you know, where they
the essays was cool.
The essays was cool, you know.
They took her to the hospital. Right. Okay, so Sharif raises a big belief in question for me that I want to ask. I feel that like gangbanging and like basically that lifestyle, like even more so than I say gangbanging because we're talking specifically LA today, but you know, on the East Coast, you know, in the streets. Wow.
Gangbang. Listen, you saying gangbang, I can't help but sing Smokey Norfolk song. I mean Smokey.
Smokey Norfolk? Oh! Gangbanging for Jesus?
Gangbanging for Jesus. WWJD.
Smokey Robinson gangbang. Okay.
Anyway,
but
so this is question.
Being in the streets, I feel like I'm almost to the point where we should look at that almost like a behavioral addiction.
She belongs to the streets.
Because you get the excitement, like you get that excitement from certain things, like that certain level of chaos can be addicting to people. And it's also like really hard to escape from. Like you kind of have to have an entire lifestyle change in order to escape it, the same way that you do if you are stopping or trying to stop an addiction. You can't go to the same playground with the same playmates and not get high. The same way that you can't go to the same playground, go to the same playmates and not die like Sharif.
Factuals. You know, when you put it in that context, it definitely makes sense because it's like for most people who are in gangs, it's like a really vicious cycle. The same thing with drugs. It's like once you're in it, it's so hard. You may try to escape it, but it's something else that's going to pull you back in. Whether it be money, needing money, or, you know, just feeling fulfilled or, you know, a sense of belongingness. Because a lot of times, you know, when most people are using, it's in social context for the most part. And then gangs are really just for people to feel like they belong to something bigger than themselves. So, yeah, I like that.
Okay, so when we start get to on our letter writing campaign to the APA, we're gonna have should we refer to it as gangbanging or should we call it street? We're gonna come up with a diagnosis name for being in the streets, in the streetsness, something. Yeah, okay. A street related disorder. And it's gonna go in the behavioral addictions section of the DSM. Because I feel like people need assistance. People really need assistance in escaping that lifestyle because I think people underestimate. They're like, oh, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just get out? Why don't you just move? But I think even for Kane, if Kane left, like if he really just left, he still would have found that element just somewhere else, whether he went to Kansas or whether he went to Atlanta, because to me, it was his lifestyle was something that how he learned to handle and cope and go through life. And so until you change yourself, changing your environment won't change. The same way, like if you are an addict and you change your environment, that addiction might still follow you. It's like, what Jay-Z say? What song is it? It's the one it's one of the albums that don't nobody like. But anyway, there is that one Jay-Z song where he basically equates hustling and the lifestyle. We could call it hustlitis. Hustling in the lifestyle. He had hustlitis and he related that to being an addict. And he like rapped about the one as a parallel of like, yeah, it's a whole thing. But, you know, what else? I can't think of the song right now.
You're going to diagnose. You get F6.3 hustlitis severe with mood.
With delusional features. You have a substance-induced hustlitis.
Damn, we did that. You know what? Let me write the letter right now.
Yeah, we need to get on this copywriting right now, ASAP.
Right.
Hustlitis. So hustlitis mild can potentially not interfere with your normal functioning. Hustlitis severe can be detrimental.
Yeah, I think they were all severe
to limiting your functioning. Anywho, okay, so Chauncey, I diagnosed him with 2 things. So another fake diagnosis that I'm going to, just run through real quick is I diagnosed him with bitchassedness. I don't know if you remember, but back when the band used to come on, Diddy said that it was an epidemic running rampant through our community and we had to do something about it. And I feel like it was even evident here. Bitchassedness. Chauncey suffered from it severely with mixed features.
Maybe we should add that to the DSM as well. There's so many.
We should just make our own. We should just stop using this white man tool of oppression that symptomizes people's everyday living.
That's the name of our whole podcast. Okay, let's relax.
We'll just call it the diagnosing. Okay, so anyway, we'll make our own. We'll come up with the name later. Anywho, I also then diagnosed him with alcohol intoxication, which we do see him intoxicated several times. One thing that did bother me, though, is that when the white man was at the door and Wax was like, well, why you holding that? He got us 40. He was like, why you holding that like a baby doll? He said, because I like little girls. Where your sister at? I was like, ew, that's not funny.
I know.
That, I'll give you that. That was not funny. I found something. Compromise. See, I try. I do my part.
I let you have it.
But also we see evidence of that at Ronnie's going away party, where he had recently ingested alcohol and was exhibiting slurred speech, incoordination, and unsteady gait. Gait is kind of like your manner of walking. I call it the drunk man stagger. He kind of had that going on, his incoordination, and clearly he lost his whole plum fool mind if he thought that he was just going to push up on Ronnie and Kane just wasn't going to do nothing. It got your whole pistol whipped.
I know. And then went and snitched. Like, really?
And see, that was a result of his bitch-assness. The bitch-assness is why he snitched and sent the tape. Because you got your ass whooped and everybody was laughing at you. Right. He said, I don't care. This is like you on TV getting your ass whooped.
I was like, he played too much. You gonna make that man mad.
And that's something that you can do with someone who is suffering from bitch-assness because they don't know how to control their emotions, and they do things like unnecessarily snitch. And he unnecessarily is also getting O-Dog in trouble. Like, I feel like he's forgetting that. Like, yeah, Kane might have whooped your ass, but O-Dog didn't do nothing to you, and you are snitching on him too, and getting him in even more trouble because he is really the one who pulls the trigger, and that's evident in the videotape. And you're sending that to the police because you are a bitch-ass nigga.
Yeah, he really was a bitch-ass nigga for sending in that tape. I agree with that disorder. I hope we can, convince APA to add it.
Hustlitis and bitch-assness.
And don't
coming to the DSM-6 and Ratchet. I feel like, yes, we need a separate category for Ratchet because I feel like, well, I don't know if I want to pathologize ratchetness. I'm tired of people diagnosing borderline as for ratchet. People just be ratchet and they get borderline or bipolar. I'm tired of it.
I mean, that's why we have to create its own thing.
It can be a V code. How about that? Ratchet will be a V code. Yeah. Yes.
Then we're going to write this beautiful letter and they're going to be like, we got you with a V code. Or a Z code, because,
Well, Z code is the ICD-10, which is more of a medical diagnostic tool, where DSM is used more along the lines with psychological professions.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how you view Ratchet, if she's sexually active and she got STDs,
that ain't Ratchet. That's just sucio. A little dirty, but
lump. That's a Willy lump disorder. We need to add that too. Okay.
We could go on and on about our new diagnostic tool that we will be creating, coming to you soon from the DSM podcast. You can send in your suggestions. We will be selling it for $59.99. But if you have any other suggestions about the diagnoses that need to go into our new diagnostic tool, feel free. Send us an email. Add us on Instagram, however you do it. But before we go, I just wanted to not victim blame, but I wanted to highlight the Korean couple because y'all died because of your one, racism, your exploitation of the community that you were in. You're selling alcohol to minors. Neither of those young men were 21 and you didn't ask them for any ID. You're profiling, your harassment, and you getting punked so much in front of your wife that you just had to say something. Like, why did you say something about his mama? That was very unnecessary. And your confirmation bias is what created your death. And so while not to victim blame you for your murder, it could have been prevented.
Damn, son. Where'd you find that?
I'm sorry.
Never thought about it that way. Very interesting.
It's my story and I'm sticking to it. I hope you all have enjoyed the episode. I had a pleasure of a time going through this hilarious movie and highlighting all of the funny to Dr. Rosie B this evening.
It is not funny. It's traumatizing.
It's a comedy. It's a comedy. It's listed in the comedy section of my DVD case. I'm just kidding. I don't have any more DVDs. And if I did, I don't think that I would organize them by genre. But if you would like to support the show to help us get more content out to you all, you can visit our website and follow the Support the Show link to become a Patreon member or donate on our Cash App. Now, we're happy to get the kind of money that jingles, but we'd rather the kind that folds. Or you could always just buy our merch. Either way, it helps out. We love you guys. As always, be sure to follow us on Instagram at the DSM Podcast, and you can subscribe to our show wherever you get podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and leave us a comment because we are counselors and actually care about what you have to say. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Okay, bye.